Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be checking out how to make a game like the game I have created, Explorer's Realm. This game is kind of like you move around the map collecting materials, and as you collect materials you will lose food and water, and you'll need to collect the water and food before you die. It's pretty simple, but the game will get updated and we'll make more tutorials on this. But yeah, that's what we're going to be working on. So first let's get started. So first we are going to want to make our map. So we can start with a plane. This plane is going to be in 0, 0. So we're going to do entity, primitive box. Then how about we make this like 4 by 4. And then that doesn't look too good right now, so we want like a grassy texture. So we need to go to right click on the assets, which is this down here, new asset, folder, and then we're going to name this materials. So we can go into this folder by double clicking it, new asset, material, then we can go to diffuse, and then we can go to opacity, no, emissive, and change this to how about a black. Then we change this to green. So we have our grass now. So we can go back to our box and drag this onto here. And boom, we have our grass. Next we're going to make the little trees and maybe like a lake. So we can new primitive cylinder. Move you out. Make your scale to 0.1. Move you down. And then we can duplicate this material down here, which we also need to name grass. So we can click on it and then it will give us grass. So we can click on it, make sure we selected it, and Control D. We'll name this tree. And then we can go to diffuse and change this to a darker green. We can go back to the cylinder and drag tree into this cylinder slot right here. So then we also need to name this ground and name this tree. So then we'll Control D while we've selected tree, and then we'll get this, and then we'll just keep doing that to make like a little forest, but not too big because we're in the plains. Now what we can do next is we can Control D again, but we can drag it over here, make the scale how about 2 by 2, so we can make a lake. So then we're going to new material, diffuse, yellow, and then we can go back to this, which will be the bottom one. We can name this lake, drag this into here, and then we'll Control D again, sand, we can go back to here, water, then we'll make this we'll make the scale 1.5 by 1.5. 5, and then make this like that. We also need to go down and name this sand. The reason we're doing all this is to make it organized. So let's Control D sand, diffuse, a nice blue. So we go back to water. We can drag the sand copy, which we need to change to water. Then we can new entity, name this lake. Drag both of these into lake, and then we can create a new entity again. We can name this plain area 1, and then we'll shift, click the bottom one, click the top one, and drag it into here. Now this is what our area is going to look like. So what we want to do is we want to delete this light, then we want to go to camera. We want to make the clear color maybe like a darker color. And then we can make the camera's rotation go to -90, which makes it point down. And then we can move it this way. Okay, let's set the position to 0, 10, 0. So next we want to right click on camera, new entity, light, and then I think it is a point light. Let me check. No, it's actually a spotlight, so let's delete that by clicking delete, new entity, light, spotlight. Then let's move the spotlight down. -7, okay. Set the rotation to 90. Change this to 1.33. Change the range to 4. And then this is what it looks like. So it doesn't look like much now. It looks kind of strange. So let's Control D. And then we'll name this plain area 2. Then we'll set the position to 4 on the Z. So as you move around, you can move from this place to that place and then back if you want. And then we can just Control D again and change that to 4. Next spot we want to make is the woods. So if we duplicate grass and name this dark grass. That's not how you spell grass. You can set the diffuse to a darker green. And then we'll go to this. We also need to name this by 3. So then we'll duplicate this. We'll name this forest area 1. Then we'll go in here, ground, set the material to dark grass. And we also need to change the position of this to 0 on Z. So let's go here. Let's change the camera's position to 4 so we can see it. Let's delete the lake. And then let's just duplicate all these trees so we can make it like a forest. So now we got the woods. Then we should make a whole bunch of these. So Control D. We need to find where we move this. So we move this to -4 on Z. And then we change this to forest area 3. Move this to 0. Then we can Control D. Change the X position to -4. Then those are all our wood areas. The woods, the forest. We can change this to 0. So next we want to add the lakes. Also need to change the names of these. How about we organize this by putting this under here? Oops, not under there. Let's just close that. Now we got it like this. So I know I go a little fast, so this is what everything needs to look like. So next, we want to add the lake. So we can duplicate the forest area. Actually, duplicate the plain area. Move it all the way down and change it to lake area 1. And then we can move you to -4 on the X. Change the ground to sand. Delete these trees. And make the lake. How about we make this 5? Oh, that is too big. 4. How about actually 3.9 by 3.9? Then we can set the position to 0. And then we can set the water to 1.8. 1.8. Actually 1.9. So 1.9. Then we can move you to 0, 0, 0. Let's move him up. The sand is. We need to make the water way bigger. So the scale can be 2. Nope. 10. Too large. 4. 3.6. By 3.6. And then we can just duplicate the lake area. Change the position to 8. And then next we're going to add the crop areas where you get your food. So let's duplicate this. We're going to want a new material. Change the diffuse to a brown. Then we're going to name this dirt. Then we can go to this lake area 2 that we have duplicated. Move its position on the X to 0. Make the ground the dirt entity, material. And then we can make a box. We can make it 0.1. Nope. 0.1 on the Z, no Y. Change the scale to 3 on the X. Move it up. Then we can probably just set this to the sand material. Then we'll duplicate this box. And now we got crops. We can select all of these and change this to crops. And change this to crop area. And then we can change this to duplicate it. Set the position to 4 on the X. change it to crop area 2. Now this is our map. Next what we want is a, how about we get a font? So we can go back here by clicking on the slash, click a new folder, fonts. We can go in here and then we can upload something. So if we find it, asparagus sprout. Wait, I think I need to find the one without it. Whatever. Let's just try the zipped file. Yeah, we need to delete that. Upload. Yes. Hold up, I think I spelled it wrong. I'm actually really confused. There we go, S, spare. There we go. So next we can add the we can go to root, create a new entity, and we'll call this areas. Now we can take all the plain areas, forest areas, lake areas, and the crop areas, drag it into there. Next we want to add a new entity, user interface, 3D screen. That's what I did. Now we can move this up. Well, I don't really think it matters where it goes. So screen space. We need to turn that on. User interface, text element. How about we make this font size a little bigger, so we'll set it to 75. And then we'll make the color brown. Make that black. Change this to wood. Change the text to wood. And then we need to new entity, user interface, text element. Change the font size to 75. Increase the outline thickness to 1. Change the text to 0. And then we can just copy and paste this. So we'll name this water. And then we can change the color to like maybe blue. And then we'll name this water from up here. And we'll duplicate you again. We'll name this food. That's dude. Food. And make this like the color of the crops maybe, so if we make that like a yellow. So this will be all for today's tutorial. I know we go really fast, so if you need, just rewind or something. I know I'm not the best tutorial out there, but if you consider it, subscribe and turn that notification bell on, leave a like on the video. It actually helps out a lot. Now, so I'll see you guys in the next video. We're making a new channel, so I'll send a link to that when we make our first video on that channel. So I'll send that link in the next video I make. And yeah, love y'all.